Poonam, the fact is that we have lost in the final of the last two World Test Championships. And I believe that given the powerhouse that Indian cricket is, and the population and the number of players India has, the depth of talent, the fact that we are winning a world title after a World Cup title after 13 years, I feel it's a great pity. I mean, by now we should have established ourselves not only as a financial powerhouse, but also as a cricket powerhouse. The euphoria is understandable and it's expected and it's welcome. But the euphoria will be forgotten in a week or so. And then we have to start again. And we have to ensure that this winning becomes a habit. It's not been a habit with the Indian team, either with white ball or red ball cricket. And I think now, considering you were talking about the IPL, the fact is the IPL has been played from 2008. And from 2008 to 2024, this is the first time India has won the World T20. In fact, in these 16 years, India has only reached the final once. So what is the excuse for that? What is the reason for that? Now, a major reason for it is that the BCCI prohibits Indian cricketers from playing in T20 leagues abroad. So the Indian players don't get the experience of playing in their leagues. They are confined to our own league. Now, Vimal Kumar made a very good point. He said that the Indian team has gone to West Indies twice to play white ball cricket in 2022 and 2023. That gave the Indian team exposure to conditions, white ball conditions in the West Indies, and was a huge benefit for us to winning the World Cup this time. But why has it not happened in the last 16 years? If we have the biggest and the most lucrative and the longest running T20 league in the world, where all the world's players come to participate, why are we not able to win more world titles? I think this is a question that has to be asked even at this time of euphoria. And this is a question that needs to be answered by the authorities.
Winning needs to be made into a habit. We fans, well, definitely could get used to that habit. Like you're seeing on your screens there, that victory lap has begun. Players there atop that bus, the trophy is in the air and chants are ringing the air as far as Mumbai is concerned. But all those fans who are watching this across the country, around the world, can feel the excitement as any one person who on the streets of Mumbai today would feel. And that's really the kind of feeling, that's the kind of emotion that cricket invokes in this country, which is why more often than not it's said that these players are like demigods. Cricket is like a religion for many people here in this country. Vimal, we were talking about euphoria, we were talking about these celebrations and making winning a habit. Well, we fans, I'm sure you who've been travelling with the team, you could get used to this kind of euphoria and this kind of winning as a habit as well? Vimal, I believe you're on mute. If you could just unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, sorry. I think yes, there has been a criticism over the last few years that India has not been able to win ICC trophy, and that those were the fair criticism. But sometimes we need to go beyond the plain stats. See, how many teams apart from Australia, India made it to the WTC final, which is a red ball cricket, highest level of cricket, Test cricket. Then India made it to the 2023 ODI World Cup final, winning all the matches. They just faltered at the last hurdle. Here they won the trophy. And apart from that, if you look at under Virat Kohli's leadership, they made it to the Champions Trophy. Hello?
Go ahead, Vimal.
Yeah. So there have been times when Indian team has been unlucky as well. See, it is not just possible that a team will dominate, which was the case in the 1980s, West Indies or Australia. But yes, certainly Indian team has the potential. They have the resources to dominate all formats. So, and this is not just a coincidence, because under Rohit Sharma there is the WTC final, there is the final of ODI World Cup, and now they have won this T20 World Cup. In the next 1 year, if you look at two major trophies are coming: Champions Trophy, which is going to happen in Pakistan, and then obviously WTC final again in England. And these are the two targets which Jaisa, the BCCI secretary, spoke to the team members, and they said this is just the beginning. Now Now we should not be satisfied by just this victory. We should ensure the same kind of domination. And I think you could see that change. Now the belief is there that yes, the Indian team thought that they were slightly unlucky. Might be they may have got overawed by the occasion, especially in the presence of Australians who have this World Championship in their DNA. But certainly, if any team which can give the Australians a run for their money, it is Indian team. We should not forget India is the only team which has won the back-to-back, Test series, apart from South Africa, of course. No Asian team has done that. So this time, later this year, they are good touring Australia again. That will be the biggest Test series. If India manages to win, make a hat-trick, 3 series in a row, I think that will be just fantastic for the likes of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja. These guys have been the stalwarts of Test team as well. So I think in the last phase of their career, these guys, whether it's Kohli, it's Rohit, Jadeja, Ashwin, they all are confident, and they know that they're leaving something special. Their legacy is going to be something special. So I hope that Indian cricket will take a lot of lessons even from this victory.
A lot of takeaways from this win. We're speaking of the men's team, the Indian team that is there in Mumbai. The heroes welcome, the rapturous sounds that we see echo in Mumbai's air is something that every Indian today glued to their TV screens is soaking in. But I also want to talk about the women's cricket team, and they've been doing fantastically well as well. And I want to get in Subbalakshmi Sharma. Agle saal there is going to be the T20 World Cup as far as the women's team goes. 2017 India had a great run, but जरा से चूक गए थे हम, ऑस्ट्रेलिया जब जीत गई थी. आपको लगता है अगले साल कब हमारा होगा?
वो आप देखोगे तो लास्ट कुछ सालों से हमारे इंडियन वुमेन्स टीम की परफॉर्मेंस काफ़ी अच्छी हो रही है. वो हमेशा फाइनल सेमीफाइनल तक जा रही है, जो पहले मतलब कभी कभी जाती थी फिर ब्रेक होता था. तो अभी आप देखोगे बीसीसीआई काफ़ी अच्छा वुमेन्स क्रिकेट के लिए मतलब प्लेटफॉर्म तैयार कर रही है. तो होप है कि नेक्स्ट 25 का वर्ल्ड कप हमारे घर ही आएगा, जैसे मेंस का 24 में आया है. तो वो मतलब प्लेयर्स काफ़ी अच्छा कर रहे हैं. अभी आपने रिसेंटली देखा होगा साउथ अफ्रीका सीरीज हम जीत गए, टेस्ट वाली, वनडे वाली भी T20 है. तो होप कि वो वर्ल्ड कप में भी अच्छा ही करेंगे.
साउथ अफ्रीका के साथ कल से एक और युद्ध शुरू हो रहा है एज फार एज द वुमेन्स टीम गोज. T20 सीरीज चेन्नई में शुरू हो रही है कल से. अब तक फेवरेट्स रहे हैं टीम इंडिया एज फार एज द सीरीज विद साउथ अफ्रीका इज कंसर्न्ड. T20 में भी वही होगा आपको लगता है?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल रहेगा, क्योंकि आप एक हाई नोट पे चल रहे हो ना. आप थ्रू आउट मैचेस अभी एक हाई नोट पे चल रहे हो, तो वो एक कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बहुत अच्छा है टीम का एनवायरनमेंट अच्छा है, तो वो मेंटेन होता है. वो थ्रू आउट आप कंटिन्यू कर पाते हो, तो वो होपफुली अच्छा ही रहेगा T20 में हमारी टीम का.
We do hope that. And Gulu Ezekiel, we're talking about the Indian team, so let's talk about both those teams. We're talking about the performance of the women's team as well, and hopes are riding high on them too. They've done pretty well for themselves, especially in the last few years. In the run-up to the World Cup for T20s next year, that's something that they and we as a country would set our eyes on.
And I'm sure that the men's team victory will be an inspiration to the women as well. Because as of yet, the women's team has not won a World Cup. So that's a bit of a gap in the trophy cabinet. And we certainly hope that they will emulate the men's team and bring more glory to the country. So that's something to look forward to. And then again in 2026 is the next World T20. It's every 2 years by rotation. So, they say that winning is easier than retaining. So now that we've won the title, the challenge will be in 2 years' time that we should be able to retain the title. And I see no reason why we should not. There'll be a new generation of players, obviously, to replace the stalwarts who have retired. But there'll be sufficient time for them to find their feet. And many of them have already played international cricket. So I do feel confident that the Indian team should certainly be on a winning streak. The only trophy which is lacking in our possession is the World Test Championship, which was launched just 4 years ago. So the World Test Championship, certainly as a traditional cricket fan, I feel is really the icing on the cake. and because you have to be consistent over a 2-year period to reach the final. India has reached the final twice. We lost to Australia and New Zealand. It's time we won the World Test Championship as well, and then the set of trophies will be complete, and we're really looking forward to adding that trophy as well to our cabinet.
We'll talk more about the World Test Championships, but I want to get in a word from my colleague from on ground in Mumbai. Preeti Sompura joins us from outside the Wankhede Stadium. Preeti, we're seeing the bus has just about started making its way from Nariman Point. That victory lap has begun. What's the mood like at Wankhede? I'm sure people who've been waiting there for hours together now finally believe their moment has come. This is what they've been waiting for all this while.
Yes, true, because people are here waiting since last 8 to 10 hours, and currently I am just outside the Wankhede Stadium. You can see that people here from the Dhol Tasha come from the traditional Indian team will be welcome in a traditional Maharashtrian way. This is the source of the Wankhede Stadium. You can see the massive celebration has just started. The outside the Wankhede Stadium, and within few minutes from now, the India will reach here. Show has already started, and it has already crossed the Marine Drive Intercontinental Hotel. So within a few minutes from now, the Team India will reach here, and you can see the celebration has also started at the Wankhede Stadium. You can see the traditional Maharashtrian way, how the people will welcome the India. There is more than 40,000, and outside more than lakhs of people gather just outside the Wankhede Stadium to welcome the Team India.
Preparations are all there. People are all gathered. It's just a few minutes from now when the team bus, that open air bus that you see on your screens, will make its way towards Wankhede Stadium. There is, of course, a tight vigil, as you can see, that barricading of the police around the bus. But there are people that have been waiting for hours together at that stretch of Nariman Point, at the stretch of Marine Drive known as the Queen's Necklace, for catching a glimpse of our champions there. You see there the entire team. Virat Kohli was seen with the trophy, holding it high up in the air, kissing it. Those are the visuals on your screens where you see the trophy up in the air for everyone to see, no matter how far or close you are to the bus. Every single fan that's out there on the streets of Mumbai was waiting for hours together, even braving the rain that took place earlier in the evening, just for this very moment. In a few minutes from now, we're going to be seeing all the attention shift to Wankhede Stadium, inside the Wankhede Stadium, in fact, where that felicitation ceremony is going to take place. But let's speak of the different formats, and I want to get in Ajay Ratra in as well. You know, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Ravindra Jadeja have all retired from T20, but we are going to be seeing them play ODIs and Tests. The World Test Championship is coming up next year, like Gulu Ezekiel was also pointing out. These three we would hope to see.
Yes, of course, for the Champions Trophy they will be available. In fact, BCCI Secretary already told that all these senior players will be available for that. So they have taken retirement from T20 cricket, and the next focus would be the, yes, of course, Champions Trophy, and they all are available. And regarding T20 also, it's the other team. Other team means one was playing World Cup, and there are few guys who have joined that team, which is led by Shubman Gill. They are playing in Zimbabwe starting from 6th of July. So in that way, we are lucky enough. India has enough talent, and for that sending another almost other team to the Zimbabwe. But for Champions Trophy, yes, all these were available.
Right, we were talking about, all kinds of formats, and speaking of Rahul Dravid as well, for him, for the coach, for being that glue, that fevicol that kept this team together, and the kind of emotions that one saw on Rahul Dravid's face all through that winning moment for those few minutes right after the win there, then into the dressing room, and now atop that bus. Gulu Ezekiel, that's something that will be remembered forever by many fans. The Wall, as he was known, this is his moment.
Yeah, you see, Poonam, the thing is that in the case of Dravid, he skipped the 2007 inaugural World T20 along with the other senior players. Then in 2003, India reached the final of the World 50 overs in South Africa and lost to Australia. He was a member of that team. 2011, when India won the World 50 overs in Mumbai, he was not in the team. So here you have a situation where he is finally, not as a player, but as a coach, which is really equally important. He is finally able to get his hands on a World Cup trophy. And this means so much for him because he has been playing a role behind the scenes. Now, Rahul is a guy who shuns the spotlight. He is very low-key. But when I saw him on the day that India won the final on Saturday, when I saw him so ecstatically lifting the trophy, I understood that the emotions of this wonderful player and wonderful asset to Indian cricket over the last 25 years, that really came out on to display in front of the whole cricket world. And it just showed how much he really cares for Indian cricket and how, unfortunately, till Saturday, last Saturday, he was not part of any World Cup winning team. So the emotions of all these years really, I think you could say the wall finally burst and everything came out and we saw it on our screens. And for me, it was one of the most heartwarming and fulfilling moments of that particular match on Saturday.
Nicely put. The wall finally burst, because I don't think we've ever seen such kind of emotions from Rahul Dravid in the years that you must have seen him play and then as a coach. But speaking of coaches, Chetan and Nanda, we still have perhaps two people in contention as far as Team India's coach goes. But looks like Gautam Gambhir could be pipping the other candidate. How do you see that? How do you see that as far as a future team is concerned?
See, the name you have taken, if you see him as a coach, he has performed well. If you see as a captain when he was for the franchise cricket, as a coach for the franchise cricket, he has done well. But when you come to Team India, it's a different ball game again. Here are the players, those who have owned. See, as a coach, you have to make a team which has to be play like a family. You have to have a trust in each other completely. That's what we have seen in this team in the last tournament. So I think it will take some time. We need to see how the mindset matches with the captain of the new coach. So I think it's too early to say anything about who's gonna be there or who's gonna do the way they're gonna do it. So I think it's too early to say it. But yes, the most important is to keep the egos aside, have a team which performs like a family, believe like a family, live like a family, trust in each other. These are the most important points when any team or any team game has to do well. As a player, you have to trust your partner. As a bowler, you ball in pairs. As a batsman, you bat in a pair. Now you've seen the fielding is also done in the pairs. Now the catching can be done in the pairs as well. So it's a game where everybody has to have a trust in each other. So I think when the new coach setup came up, or new coach comes to Indian team, it's a strategy what he comes up with. What captain he gets, how well they gel to each other, how well the team gels to each other, how well they have a clarity on their game plan. Because for me, the process and the clarity is the most important thing in game of cricket. If your process is right and you are clear in your mindset, yes, I can go and execute that plan. Suppose I'm a bowler and I have a capability of performing A, B and C plan, not the D plan. but the coach gives me a plan A, B, C, and D. So if I don't have that power or that execution power of doing that particular D plan, then I won't be able to do it. So as a coach, you need to understand, yes, this player can perform A or B or C plan, but he can't do D plan. So let's not give him a D plan. Let us give him A, B, or C plan, and tell the captain, if you need a D plan to be to be executed, then you're not going to this bowler, you are not going to this player, you are going to a different player. So this is how the coach has to understand the capability of the player, of a bowler, of a batsman, or even a fielder. It's very important in T20 cricket now where you put your fielders, how well you move your fielders, how well they go from this point to that point. Because if you keep a fielder which has to go from one point to other point for the every over, then it will take a lot of time, and there is a penalty on the thing on being a late doing late overs. So I think as a coach, as a support staff, you have to work on many things. You have to understand each and every player. So for me, giving a word coaching is not a right word for a job of coach. I think it's a more man management, how you manage the people, how you manage the person, how you well understand that players, because these players are the top-notch players you have in the country. So you can just manipulate them or man manage them, or tell them, okay, you perform like this on this kind of wicket or something like that, where you just give your thoughts. You cannot coach them, because they are the best players at that point of a time given in whole country. So I think it's very important how well you understand your players, how well you understand your support staff, how well you understand the conditions,
that glue is
how
sort
well
of
you
required,
understand the pressure.
And I want to get in Vimal as well. Vimal, you've seen the team in action, you've travelled with them, you've seen them out of action, so to say, as well. Who do you think is the glue of that team?
What did you say last sentence?
Who do you think is that glue of the team, the one that binds everyone together? There are different personalities, but there's that one or two people that ensure that everything is in sync, everything works like a well-oiled machine.
I think there is no prizes for guessing. I think it is Rohit Sharma. There is no prizes. The way he connects such a, Rohit Sharma may be the legend, the superstar, but for Indian team, he's the boy next door. The way he connects, like, you see his connection with the likes of Shubman Gill, the Ishan Kishan, or Rishabh Pant, and the way he connects. I will tell you one example. Today now I can afford to reveal that secret, and this was told by the player. In 2022, Sanju Samson was in the race for the World Cup, which was being played in Australia. Sanju Samson did not get selected. He was part of the team traveling. So the first call he got, it was not from the selectors, Rohit Sharma. And Rohit Sharma literally, like, I will not use the word apologize, just trying to explain what was the reason and logic. And Sanju, in the greatest moment of despair, because he was not selected for the World Cup, he felt like somebody caring for me so much. And Rohit promised him, trust me, there will be a day, there will be a tournament, you will be there. You are in my scheme of things. Here in this World Cup, there was so much talks going around. Who will be your second wicket keeper? Ishan Kishan, Jitesh Sharma, and something. So many names. Rohit was clear. If he were to pick a second wicket keeper, it has to be Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson may not have played the single game, but whether he or Yashasvi Jaiswal or Yuzvendra Chahal, the way they have been back, that speaks volumes about his leadership. So I think Rohit Sharma was the glue. The other day, I remember, a few months back, Rahul Dravid has said that there is something about Rohit Sharma. People gravitate towards him. And from my personal experience, I can say that I'm not an Indian cricket team member. I'm an outsider, just a media guy following this Indian cricket team. The kind of affection, the kind of support this Indian team, especially the captain, has given to me, just knowing